wish you had told me so much. Go ahead.
It's coming naturally to you.
Okay.
More because you are
Because people are wondering why Awujale and I are so close. Some Ijebus have tried to drive a wedge between us. But Awujale and the good Lord whom we serve saved the situation.
You have a royal family.
Yeah.
And you are the Olori Omoba.
Yeah.
In Ijebu land, the ruling houses are known as Fusegua. I want you to please tell us the ruling houses.
That title is a vindication by Awujale of my true blood. Everybody is successful. Many people are Olori Omobas, but there are some Omobas that the good Lord had anointed to be a numero uno. At 88, I should be bold to say things. But as a mature Ijebu citizen, I will not overturn the apple cart. Awujale was divinely chosen by God and is being divinely guided by his maker and is consummate in his way and approach to anything godly. I don't know whether it makes sense to you. I have had a personal experience which people are afraid to mention. But I just looked around and said, there goes a man divinely chosen as the head of Ijebus. There goes a man divinely guided as to how he will perform his different duties. There goes a man whom the good Lord has chosen and has been directed from time to time. I won't give details, but at 88, Awujale would appreciate me if I don't give details, because I don't want to hurt anybody. Do you know that sometime in the Ijebu history, some people saw the way I was succeeding and becoming larger than life, that they thought the first thing they should do is to assail my relationship with people like the Awujale. You know, we Ijebus, we are very appreciative of the position of Alayeluwa. We used to say, Obabere ile mititi. I'm happy Awujale is my friend. People have tried to help us, but he rose to the occasion. Let me tell you about even the ruling house of which I am the head. With the blessing of the Awujale, my mother happens to be a great-grandchild of Oba Adesimbo Tunwase, the Awujale who was on the throne when the British, after the 1892 war, defeated the Ijebus. And they wanted peace. And they said they would approach the reigning Oba. That was by my ancestor. My own mother, her mother was a grandchild of Oba Adesimbo Tunwase. And her grandmother was the first daughter of Oba Adesimbo Tunwase. There are a lot of other wings and other stories, but I've been Otunba now at least about 40-something years. I was the first Otunba after the old ones, the old generations. I was the one who revived that title in Ijebu. But some people did try to cause trouble between me and Awujale. He waved it off. And he made me the Olori Omoba. Not just because he likes me, but because he appreciates the authenticity of my story.
Can I come in here?
Yeah, let me finish. You cannot complete the Ijebu history without mentioning the role of Tunwase played. He was the one who first received the British administrators in Ijebu. After we were defeated at the Imango War, the British authorities wanted to meet the Ijebus, that we should have peace. And the then Awujale, my ancestor, invited them to his own palace. The missionaries were with them, and he then asked Awujale if they can preach the word of God as Christians. Awujale said, by all means. They also asked, can we baptize some of your children? He also said the same thing. He said, go ahead. The first Christian church in Ijebu, Tunwase gave them the land. Italupe. I have a picture in Ijebu, the cenotaph built by Italupe to represent the occasion, as well as in appreciation to the Awujale in Ijebu, is at Italupe. Awujale, Chief Ayodeji, Professor Ayodeji, and I were invited. And in the presence of these two gentlemen, I was asked to unveil that cenotaph. It's a recorded part of history. Then, quite a lot of things happened.
One of the things that happened that we got from the grapevine. One of the few things we got from the grapevine, when Bisi Onabanjo and Awujale were having their rifts.
That's what I have been avoiding talking about.
Because it came out in other interviews. The truth will always be known.
Thank you.
There was so much to say that people were already grooming you to be the next Awujale.
I was afraid to mention it so that I would not create acrimony, any further acrimony. But it was the Awujale who saved the situation. And at 88, I would not be afraid to say it. The only thing is that my good Lord is my shepherd, and I shall never want. I don't like hurting anybody. But for the sake of relationship between me and Awujale, and to establish that he's a godly person, I would tell you. There was a rumor which filtered to Ijebu, and people said Oba Shijuade wanted to make me a chief, and that I had been boasting around. Let me tell you, you see, people who did not know me thought I was an upstart. I was doing very well in law, in this bank and everything. It was as if I had a special relationship with my God. So my name kept on ringing. And my mother said, of blessed memory, said, if I were to go into all this, you won't be able to finish. My mother said, no, you cannot be a chief in Ife. You are a prince in Ijebu, so you cannot be. That already the members of our family in Oduko Kwagushembi, who have heard the story, have come to tell her that, please tell Subomi, we want you to come and be Otunba of Ijebu land, not all of that. And they let, please don't distract me. Please don't distract me. Please let me, yeah. And listen.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Then they invited a number of senior people from the Tunwase family. They asked me to book an appointment for them to see my friend, Awujale, that they want to make me the Otunba. They can't do it alone. You are an Otunba of the reigning this thing. And gladly, we all went there. When we got there, both Awujale and I demonstrated that we are close friends. Instead of sitting with my people, I was by the side of Awujale, and we were chatting. Then Awujale said, when you are ready, come and tell me. Okay? In the meantime, they were already, I was already building my house, Tunwase Court. And I was telling my people that I will not want to be installed until that house is completed. And that I was going to arrange with the council to make that, the road leading to it, Tunwase Drive. So we waited. While we were waiting for my house to be completed, for one reason or the other, Awujale, who in fact told me he was going away for some treatment in London, went. And I was saying that we will not do anything until Awujale arrived, which was well known. And the devil had his way then, but ultimately the omnipotent God won the last battle. We had that big ceremony. At that time, I had just been allowed to set up a bank owned single-handedly by me. There were obvious and opulent evidence that I had hit it in a big way. A few of my people envied me. It was Subomi here, Subomi here, Subomi here. Things happening in Gebu, blah, 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 this. So, we went ahead and I told Kabiyesi when the trouble started. In fact, it was not me alone. I will be specific because this is a delicate thing. We had that ceremony. I explained to everybody during the event that when the Awujale comes back, I'm going to pay my obeisance. But some malevolent relations of mine, including a terrible Lagosian, went to Kabiyesi in London and said, what your friend was celebrating, everybody was saying, Kabiyesi, Kabiyesi. It was not just an Otunba thing, it was your throne. That's the story. I had said I wouldn't say it until after my 90th birthday. But what's the difference between 88 and 90? We were scared. Chris Ogunbanjo said he will go with me and we'll go to London and we will explain to Kabiyesi. We went before any event at all to see Awujale in his apartment, in his house in London. We had a copy of the program. It involved church business, the then bishop of the Lagos Diocese, which included Ijebu, was to conduct a service in my home, preparatory to my going to start the ceremonies in Olukoku. Everything was all prayers. Then, without knowing what they were planning to do, Otunba Giwa, the good Lord, bless his soul, was always sitting by me or moving around dancing. And when it came, Wahab Oshinusi was not yet on Otunba. He was very close to Awujale because they were neighbors. And when I was brought out by the ODs of the Awujale who were there, the first thing I said, and the recording is still there, I said, Mojuba Awujale. And then at every moment I was talking that when Awujale comes, I'll be doing it. This vicious friend of an Ijebu notable rushed to London. That very night, he left Ijebu and took a plane to London and spoke to some friend or some relation of mine who was very close to Awujale and said, what we saw in Ijebu was not Otunbashi. Everybody was saying, Alaye, Alaye, Alaye. And Kabiyesi, naturally, started beating his chest and said, Subomi, my friend, betrayed me. His then wife was assuring him, brother can't do that. Well, the time then came the good Lord forgive me. Some people who are dead now informed me 4 days before the Awujale publication came out. The purported publication of the Awujale, and where Awujale, in spite of meeting Otunba Giwa and I and asking us to go ahead, said I had betrayed him. Unfortunately, I got a copy of Awujale's advertisement. I had just sold the shares of Daily Times, which was very well done and popular. And Alhaji Jose and I became very close. So he phoned me, he said, Subomi, the enthronement we came to do in Ijebu-Ode, Awujale has sent a publication which we will want to use. But I will give you one privilege. Alhaji Jose, I'm quoting, my mother was also an Ijebu woman. I'm going to give you a copy of the advertisement. Prepare your reply. The advertisement came. I took it to top people. I don't want to mention their senior members of the ruling house said, you can be talking. The ruling house will reply him. So they wrote what was our reply, explaining that he and I were good friends and that they had taken me for his approval, and he had said that whenever we are ready, we should come. Okay? When we then decided that my house, if it is finished, we should do it. In the meantime, Awujale and Bishop Onabanjo were quarreling. And even without being informed, Awujale left Ijebu. The late B. Jai went with Awujale and rushed back to me. Went to see Awujale off and rushed down to me. He said, please, the event you want to do, Awujale, who had just left for London, and I saw him to the airport, said he didn't know anything about it. And I said, don't worry. Chris Otunba Giwa and I will be going to see him. And Awujale did say, okay, you can do this, you cannot do this. When I come back, you will do it. But the malevolent element that tried to poison Awujale's mind, even though I was close to Awolowo, I was not a politician. His eldest son was my junior at Ibobi College. And because he was Ijebu, he was very close to me and liked me a lot. I was in my final year, and I was well known in Ibobi College to be very bright, and I made a good grade 1. So Segun adored me. While in London to study law in Cambridge, I had just finished. He was 4 years my junior. So he was always visiting me. By the time he finished, I was already working in the Ministry of Justice in Ibadan. He was always coming in and telling me. That was what brought me and Awujale close. When he died, Awolowo was in prison. When he came out, he was living in a place in Apapa. where I had my first house. So one evening, Bola Ige drove to me and said, Papa would want to meet me, that he had how much I took care of Shegun. That was all. In fact, God knows that at a particular time, when Bisi Onabanjo was governor in Ogun State, in his presence, my wife and everybody said, Papa asked Subomi, are you interested in the board appointment? And I said, no, sir. Apart from being nice to Bisi Onabanjo, because he was an Ijebu Egbon, I had nothing to do with politics. But people then started the rumor that Awolowo had promised and that asked Bisi Onabanjo to replace me with Awujale. There was nothing like that. So the whole thing started boiling. When Awujale came back, I happened to know that there were a lot of people lobbying. See, it says in Otunba Tunwase, we are going to create more Otumbas. They call it organized confusion. While we were still doing it, Chris Ogunbanjo invited me to come and have lunch in his Tunwase place. And I went alone. So when I got there, Ogunbanjo said, Abro, Awujale is coming home. As soon as he comes and I say, Kabiyesi, you follow suit. And I said, I didn't tell Mama that I was going to meet him. Ogunbanjo said, I should not worry. Ogunbanjo is still alive. He is 98 while I'm 88. And Awujale and I are the same age. Yeah. So Awujale came with his entourage, potential Otumbas and others. The new Otumbas, 25 of them were created after mine. Mine was the first.
Ayodeji, sir. Ayodeji.
Ayodeji,
Yes, sir. The one that spoke to you this morning.
Oh Lord, God save me. Anyway, I will tell you. Yeah, he has to wait.
Yes, sir.
Okay, the entourage came. Will be Otunba.
Yeah. And then Awujale said, the woman just said, Kabiyesi. And I said, Kabiyesi. Awujale threw his arms on my shoulder and said, Alabara. Those were the words. I was going to leave it in a book when I should have gone. I won't go yet.
Never.
Yeah. I was surprised. This is somebody I hear wanted to my neck, another thing. So we were so charming that people who were thinking that they were new friends and that they were going to be favorite friends were wondering that we were fighting because of this man. He reconciled with Subomi. There was nothing like that. It was God speaking to the heart of Awujale. Then he just said, Alabara. We said, why don't you copy me your white material at your photomanwoy? And Kabiyesi, you've forgotten, when we were young, we were saying that at a particular stage, you will only be wearing white this thing. And then we joked. He asked me to come and sit near him. And during the luncheon, he and I were talking and reviewing past things. We did not talk about it. That was how Awujale and I reconciled. There was no formal listening. Then Awujale did something with eternity, the omnipotent God, the everlasting one, will always compensate him. I came back home. I told my mother that when I got to Otunba Giwa's house, Ayodeji came, and this was happening. My mother said, maybe God is softening his mind. That you must, on Sunday, or on a few days, go and thank him. So I took my son, the lawyer. He's 52 now. He was about 13 or 14. So I said, no, I got to there. They were having a meeting of the new Otumbas. And I said, can I see the Ayodeji? It was still the old, this thing. Ayodeji saw me in the front and shouted, Otunba, come. I want to give you a duty. We're discussing about the new palace here. And I will want you to be the chairman of the palace launching, raise funds. I said, Obviously. He said, go ahead. Then he told me something confidentially, that he had been speaking to Chief Odutola, that the man was hesitating. And Ayodeji and I agreed on what I should donate. So I went there. People were surprised. This man had been quarreling with Ayodeji. I was the chairman at the panel listing. So at that time, money was something distant. So I announced 250,000 naira. All the other topic groups announced 100, including everybody who was anywhere in the group. The others, 100 was the biggest they did. In any way, they all went back to Ayodeji saying that I was so boastful. Odutola gave us 300. That was how it started. And Ayodeji called me and thanked me. He even said, Gide, my son, gave him, I think it was 10,000 or something, he gave him. He didn't know all that. So that is the story. I think the Ayodeji wanted to redeem the balance that he decided to make me Olori Omoba. And that is the reason why I will never do anything against Ayodeji. That is the reason why I've been so consummate in my relationship. I will do anything for Kabiyesi. And he also demonstrated it. Do you know that for many years before coronavirus, on the 26th of December, Ayodeji will come with other Obas to have lunch at Tunwase court. My grandchildren who will be returned to Britain were always looking forward to Kabiyesi to come, and they were asking, won't Kabiyesi come this week, brother? Corona will come. I think what was happening is that I was progressing. Some people were alarmed. They thought I would want to do what the Odutola will do. That was nothing. But God himself mollified Ayodeji's heart, and he did the right thing. Wako is one of the best Ijebus you have. He told all of them, Jati. I was warning you that in those days, when Ayodeji and Subomi will go in, who of you dared come in? Wako Shinusi. So, you know what Ayodeji then did? He then asked them to tell me that all the homages I should pay. He would organize, I would do it, he would do it without inviting anybody. You know that one of the closest friends of Awujale, who is the Rama, he was not there. And they said I should come at 7 a.m. I just had my usual white, and Awujale blessed me. He blessed me. So he decided to install these 2 or 3 prominent things. So when he mentioned that he was going to make me Olori Omoba, it was reported that one of them said, Osoye to Jebe. Then Awujale explained to them that this person from Fide Pote was Olori Omoba. That's the story of Olori Omoba. Then the thing that then amazed them, anything about me, Awujale would be so. He made me the chairman of this, chairman of that, blah, blah, this. And to bring peace, he arranged how we should be sitting at Ojudoba and other places. And Lord, he put Bayo, my cousin, then Corey Balogun, and me before Ashwadi. And I always go around with my wife. So the next seat to me before Ashwadi was my wife's. I knew what happened. Awujale has been fantastic.